Hello there, good to see you. Now, ukitoka Gulf, utoke USA, UK, ama out of employment, usianzishe hiyo biashara yako immediately. You know what? I know you have dreams. I know you have visions. I know you want to employ yourself. I know it has been a thing that has been driving you all the time, all right? I know you want that pharmacy, that butchery, that cosmetic, that beauty shop, that salon, that barber, that business. I know you've been dreaming about that specific business. But now, today, I'm going to teach you the magical thing of waiting and actually reading the ground. Kuna kitu moja unafaa kuelewa. You've been outside for quite a while. These are the secrets that you're supposed to employ so that you don't lose all your money. Can you imagine this? Working in Gulf or maybe whichever the place or out of employment for the next or for the last 10 years, you get yourself a million, maybe 200,000, 400 or something of sort, or even 10 million. And then you put it on the ground, zinakunywa maji. That's very dangerous. Guess what? That's what I'm going to talk and discuss with you throughout this video. I'm going to give you in terms of points. And the fifth one, it's actually a magical one. And by the way, before we do that, because I'm worried, I don't want you to miss any of my good feature videos. This is how I want you to do it, all right? So, up before chini on your right, there is a button written subscribe. It is in black. Okay, hit to your button. Then up before chini on your left, kuna a like button. Okay, hit those two magical buttons. And guess what? It only takes 1 second and it's free. If forever and ever in future, imagine YouTube will be notifying you that I've uploaded a new good video. So you will never, ever, ever miss of my good videos. All right? So let's get into the business. Number one, I always tell people, take your time. I know you've been having that idea in your head, and you've conceptualized that idea in your head, you've sold it to your heart, and the hands are out there to execute the idea. Take your time. You've been outside this country for the last, let's say, 5 years, 3 years, or 2 years, or even 1 year. You do not know exactly how it has changed or how it has transformed, all right? So you don't want to get yourself out of the place. You come to this place and then assume the way you left your village or the way you left your town is still the same. Things have changed. Licenses have increased. Consumer appetite has changed. There's some change of statistics and something of so unafaa kuwa unajiuliza aje, fine, nikitoka hapa nilikuwa natamani sana kazi ya salon. You go back to the same place, ujiulize aje, is it fine? You see, I always tell people one thing, it is not about your passion, it's about what the ground is saying. Some of the businesses huwa tunafanya hatuzipendi, lakini watu tunazifanya kwa sababu they pay our bills, and at the same time it is what the community or the ground is asking. You've been outside this country for quite a long time, and when I say outside the country, I don't mean literally. You can be employed, you do not know what's happening on the ground there. So you've just gotten out of the employment, now here you are with your money and you want to execute the idea. It's always take time, consult and interact with people who are either business consultancies or financial consultancies or people who are operating that specific business. Nakumbuka siku moja nilitaka kuanzisha butchery. I was employed in a butchery business, all right, for 5 days, close to a week actually, for free. Sikuwa napewa anything. Naamka asubuhi like 7 am, niko hapo hivyo, naosha that butchery, naosha hizo sufuria. Mimi mwenyewe nilimwambia, I will just come there, I want to learn these skills. Ananionyesha kupima nyama, kukata nyama, kuzipima, kufanya all those nitty-gritties, so that I wanted to understand how does a typical butchery happens. Can you imagine this? Umeanzisha butchery and then immediately customer shows up and then there is a piling of customers there. Unafaa umpimie, umkatakatie na upimie the next. So wanaona hata venye unakata ni kama hauna skills, you don't know these things. It's always good to offer that what called the confidence with your clients or with your customers there. All right? So I always tell people, pick that individual who you know is a business consultant. Pick that individual who you know is a financial consultant. Pick that individual who is operating that specific business. And again, this is the wisdom I want you to use wakati unaenda kuinteract na hawa watu. Make sure you don't just approach them in a very funny way and you tell them, hey, you know what? Mimi nataka kuanzisha cosmetic, na unaanza kumwambia nataka kuanzisha they across the barabara ama the same town. They might feel threat with that specific money. Actually, when they know you're outside the country, wanaweza feel like unataka kuja hapo nje kitu kubwa and then you get them out of the market. Tell them you want to start maybe in Mombasa na labda mnaongelea Kirinyaga. Tell them you want to start that business in a very far place, not from where they are. Because let me tell you one thing, business people are one of the we usually see the most jealousy people, all right? And sometimes it's allowed for them because it's about competition. Ule mwenye alikwambia life is not a competition, ikudanganya. Life, it's all about competition, but the questions are different, all right? So the point is this, make sure that you grab those people, you have them, and take your time. The other thing is this, make sure that at least in that business that you're operating, at least you have 4 or 3 suppliers or distributors of that specific business. Get somebody who has ever been into that business or is into that business, or somebody who started that business and left it, so that you may be able to get all the information. One thing, kuna kitu moja unafaa kuelewa when you come to business. You may think you want to start, let's say, a pharmacy business, and then you get somebody who started that business and right now wherever they are feeling that they made a mistake, and because they don't want, wanasemanga kifo cha wengi ni harusi, they want more people to come on board. You put your money there, you get discouraged or frustrated because they made a wrong decision, then they tell you to make the same wrong decision. They will never tell you, and then that particular point when all of you are going under losses, wanasemanga kifo cha wengi ni harusi. So you're supposed to make sure that the person that you're getting is usually the right person. And again, about family members and asking them about businesses, let me tell you one secret. These are good and the worst people at the same time. Just know and understand your family members. Otherwise, some of them operate under jealousy. Even your brothers or sisters, those people you've been born together, they are the worst people at times when it comes to business, because again, some of them don't give you the real information as far as investments are concerned. So at all the occasion, what I would advise you to do, don't overload yourself with different or multiple people or individuals to explain to you about businesses. You can get yourself like 2 or 3 people who are operating that specific business or the same business that you want to start. And then have somebody at least who is a financial consultant or a financial advisor, or you can have somebody who is a business consultant or a business advisor. That way you're able to compare who is doing that actual thing and who is telling you how that actual thing is done. So with that information, then you can be able to sum up and say, this is what I can do, all right? Rather than just checking in from the airport, going to your home, and then at that particular point now you feel like, hey, you know what? You are ripe because you have some cash in your bank. Now you can go ahead and start a business. It is so frustrating to some people, and some of the people, I've seen them coming back home, starting a business, or some people have been employed, getting to the business, starting a business, getting frustrated, and then going back to employment or going back to that place where they have been working from. Hiyo ni kitu ambacho siwezi taka wewe mwenyewe ikupate, because once it gets it's usually the worst decision. Probably you shared an information with your co-workers that you are going to start a business. Once you come back and then they realize that you're now going back to employment, that mockery that they make humor out of you and such is usually not a so good experience. All right, so now those are the things that you're supposed to consider at all the occasion when you're starting that specific business. And then study the ground. Actually, this is my fifth point. This is the most important one. Study the ground and let the ground dictate to you what business is appropriate. For example, when you're getting out of the country or when you're going to employment, you had a dream of starting, let's say, a beauty shop, all right? And then, or a beauty business. And then once you come back home now with the actual money that you believe that is enough for you to start a business, now you still cling to the old idea of starting a beauty shop. Perhaps when you look around at that particular place where you want to locate your business, maybe there are multiples of that businesses, but that is not a definition that that business cannot work. You can get into the market, do it differently, and at that particular point you can be able to get that what we call your customers. But again, this is the question: what does the ground say? What does the ground dictate? Because let me tell you one secret: it's not about starting what you're passionate about. It is starting what is selling. Some of the businesses ambazo tunazifanya, we aren't passionate about them. Honestly speaking, can you take an example of somebody who is selling stones and sands? How can you be passionate about stones and sands, honestly? I mean, you're not a carver, you're not an architect. I mean, seriously, you cannot be passionate about that specific thing. But what makes you happy is that it makes you something that at the end of the day that you can be able to put food on the table. Sometimes it's not overly about your passion. Sometimes, or in most cases, is usually what the ground says. It's like starting a business just because you love it, but the people, and again, I always tell people, this business that you're starting and you love it, it's not about you, because you're not your customer, you're not the one who is buying. All right, so start that specific investment that you know is resonating with the people. This is the summary of my information. Number one, once you get out of the employment or maybe out of the country, maybe Gulf and what have you, don't start your business immediately. Give yourself some time. I usually recommend like 4 to 5 months. Yeah, I know it may sound outrageous. Yes, take yourself 4 to 5 months studying the ground, understanding what's happening. Try to change and exchange the towns. Maybe you're born out of Kakamega. It's not a must that you start that business in Kakamega. Try Nakuru, try Kericho, try Nyeri, try Kirinyaga, and all those vast places, so that you can be able to realize what you can be able to do. And I always tell people like this: maybe you have 100,000 in Nairobi, cannot do a magical thing, but the same 100,000 can do a magical thing in Kirinyaga, can do a magical thing in a different place. So make sure that you change places and you have moved to different places so that you get the best deal for your money. That's how you do it when it comes to investments. All right, perhaps you're out there and you're confused, you don't even know Fine, you've talked about getting this individual who is a business consultancy or something of sort. Guess what? I offer those services. You can give me a call. My number is on the description of this specific box. You can contact me, or perhaps you can decide to get the booklets in place of my guidance. You can grab my booklets about business ideas, business plans, and I also prepare business plans, business proposals, and all those nitty-gritties. I prepare them for you. Grab my number. We talk business, and those business booklets are there, just 220 shillings, and I have other multiple business plans ready for you. How do you get them? Just like I said, my number is on the description of this specific video down there. You can get my number. We talk business. All right, so by the way, make sure you like this video, and this is a cup of your coffee. Doesn't cost you anything, only takes you 1 second, and I believe you got it. And also comment down below, tell me what you think, because I'm a believer you got something that I can as well learn from you. That's how we do it, and that's how we iron each other, just like an iron does to each other. All right, so for now, it's a goodbye, and see you in the next one.